What's up, ninjas? It's the Shaman coming at you, inner game coach extraordinaire for the natural lifestyles, also creator of the Liberated Man Collective and inner game life coaching. Today, I want to talk to you about an important secret, and it's a secret that gets overlooked a lot, too much, if you ask me. But it's one of the most important ideas to grasp if you are interested in things like personal development, seduction, lifestyle design, inner game, and just plain old being awesome. Now, what is the secret? What's the secret? What's the secret? Well, the secret is that you are the one that you're looking for. It's about believing in yourself. It's about being true to yourself. It's about following what it means to be alive inside of yourself. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that the secret ingredient to your own life mastery and transformation is literally right here, right now, inside of you. And if you can let it flow, if you can believe in it, if you can start to let it flow through you, then it will allow you to feel more trust. And as you get to know it, as you get to be with it, it will really start to give you another way of looking at, feeling, and experiencing the world. Now, this probably sounds like some ancient wisdom woo-woo. And the good answer, the good truth to this, the good reality to what I'm saying is that this is ancient wisdom. This is the fundamental secret of secrets. Now, you can look for all kinds of answers. You can look for techniques, you can look for mindsets, you can look for strategies. These things do matter, they do help, they do actually complement you on your journey, absolutely. And if you are looking for greatness, then you should definitely look for those things. But remember that the most powerful part of the equation, the most important part of everything is you. And if you're not putting yourself into the picture, then you're missing the point, because you are the master in disguise. Don't forget yourself, because you are the one that is doing all of this. You're the one that's looking, you're the one that's hearing, you're the one that's feeling. You're the one with the nervous system that's paying attention to these words right now. So be aware of that. Start to come back to that and start to feel good about being yourself. Start to feel good about believing in yourself. Start to become aware of how easily you can start to feed yourself with your senses, with your experience, with who you are, with how you're flowing in life. Now, this is something that I have to constantly remind myself to do and to be, and it's an important lesson, very important lesson, because if we forget about ourselves, then we begin to chase all kinds of images, we begin to chase all kinds of things outside ourselves, and we wonder, why do we feel like things are just not clicking? We wonder why we feel anxious, we wonder why the world's not flowing, we wonder why we don't feel like we have a place in the world, etc. Now, as a men's lifestyle coach for the last 20 years, I wish I could give you the 3 easy steps that would help you be your most awesome self. And in many ways, I am doing that with these kinds of videos. But at the same time, I can't do that for you. I can't do it for you because really this is about doing your own work. This is about being your own person. This is about learning to trust yourself. And this might not be an exciting message. This might not be the kind of message that you want to hear, because people are often looking for the quick fix, looking for the easy solution. So it's disappointing when somebody's telling you that the thing that you're looking for is inside you, or that that you need to follow your own truth. But the truth is that you are the secret that makes your life your life. You are the one that needs to believe in themselves. Now, this is not an easy thing, but it is a powerful thing. It is an important thing. And it is something that we can come back to over and over again. What does it really mean to believe in yourself? That's something that you will seek and you will discover and you will find in time. And if you're always looking outside yourself, if you're looking for new systems, if you're looking for teachers and techniques to make your life whole, to make your life better, then you're always going to be chasing some level of an illusion. There's always going to be something outside yourself that is telling you that you're not it yet, that you have not got there yet, that you're not allowed to have it yet. So this is where, we get lost in techniques, we get lost in methods, we get lost in ideas. The truth is, though, it's your willingness, it's your will, it's your desire to work, to show up, that really makes you extraordinary. It's you, all those unique, beautiful things inside of you that are you, that make you you. And when you can recognize that, when you can have that as the biggest frame, as the ultimate way that you see things, and everything else is inside of that, then you can start to exist in a way where all the techniques, all the secrets, all the mindsets, all the stuff that's going on around you is just part of that experience, and it's all complementary. So then you start to exist from a place of self-awareness first, from knowing yourself, from your center as whole first. Now, this is possibly one of the biggest and most powerful things that you can learn. And it's something that is often elusive to people because they're looking in their mind, they're looking outside themselves, they're looking for these solutions. And it's kind of that old parable of the king running around the village saying, "My kingdom for a horse," kind of thing, when really he, obviously he has the horse. It's kind of making a point that we're missing what's obvious in front of us. Now, many people are looking for quick and easy fixes these days. It's kind of what the world is set up to do. And it means that we forget our roots. It means that we forget what's important. It means that it's something that we start to lose our sense of groundedness as a result of that. And it's all too easy these days to jump from one sensation, one exciting thing to the next, because we always have a smartphone, we always have a TV, we always have a computer, we always have screens and offers and opportunities and things that are trying to capture our attention. And this leads us to get caught up in the idea that we're looking for something outside ourselves, that we need to get somewhere because these images are telling us that we need to be somewhere that we're not. And basically this encourages us to be distracted. It encourages us to get sucked into these systems. Now, even right now, you're watching this video probably on YouTube, and YouTube's designed to keep your attention here. It's designed to keep you moving around from one thing to the next. So is Facebook, so is Instagram, so are all these platforms. They're designed to capture your mind and to keep you captured, because then they can sell you stuff, or then they can start to get data from you. Then they can start to use you as part of the business model of what they're part of. Now, that's just part of the system of the world that's going on around us. It's not something that we need to hate. It's not something that's always a bad thing. There's lots of great things that come out of that. But the point is, if we lose our ability to find our own happiness and our own meaning inside of ourselves, then we are forever chasing shiny things. We're forever trying to win the game of life as it's been told to us by these advertisers, by these different platforms, by these different systems, basically. So I'm here to tell you, and I know you know this, but I'm here to remind you that it's a fool's game to keep chasing these things, to compare yourself to others, to have these high levels of expectations that you're not there, that you need to get something to be better. And if you live like this, it dissipates your energy. It splits you into many different facets of expectations and desires and identities. And basically your life force then becomes a kind of almost like a food for these other systems, and they feed off you. So instead of doing that, instead of looking around you for all the secrets, start to look into the mirror. Start to see yourself for what you are. See the real secret of success is you. Now that means just coming back to yourself more and more, moment to moment, practicing coming back to yourself, being aware of who you are, where you are, what's going on, starting to feed your senses. It's the first and most powerful thing to be aware of. So I'm here to remind you that the force is with you. Nobody else has the force. Nobody else can give you the force. We can just focus on bringing that energy back to ourselves and start to remember that the force is with us. Now, I'll tell you a story. It's an old Hindu story that says that once upon a time, men were gods, humans were gods, and humans sinned. Humans, we abused our privileges, and we basically did things that were, cause for us to have our powers revoked, to have our divine ability to live as gods to be revoked. And the God of all gods, the supreme divine leader of all gods, decided to remove the Godhead from humanity. But it was confusing. What are you going to do with it? What is the best place to put the Godhead if you're going to remove it from humanity so that it doesn't cause a mess, so that it doesn't keep doing nasty things to itself? And what do you do with it, basically? So the supreme leader, the supreme God, wanted to know where he should hide the Godhead, and in a way where humanity would not find it. And he summoned all the other gods, all the other sub-gods, all the other parts of the great being that are the supreme being. And they decided to have a meeting. They decided to have a brainstorm. And one god suggested, well, why don't we place this Godhead in the highest mountain peaks? Why don't we hide it on a high mountain peak? And the supreme divine God said, no, if we hide it on a mountain peak, then man's just going to climb that mountain. He's going to see, he's going to find it. He's going to look from other mountains. He's going to find it. So that's not a good place. Another god suggested, well, why don't we bury it deep inside the ground, and maybe then he won't find it. And the supreme divine leader said again, well, if we do that, then man's going to find it when he's looking for gold and he's looking for precious metals, and he's going to basically discover it again, and there's going to be another problem. So what if we hide it at the bottom of the ocean? Another god said, well, that's going to be a problem too, because humanity will be exploring the oceans and they'll go deep in there and then they'll find this at the bottom of the ocean. And finally, the God of wisdom suggested that they hide the Godhead within man himself, within humanity. And the supreme divine leader agreed and said, yes, we will hide it inside, because humanity will never look for itself inside of itself. Man will never find himself inside of himself because he won't look there, basically. So it's a nice little story that reminds us that everything that we need is within us. And if we can learn to look inside, if we can learn to understand ourselves and to take care of ourselves from the inside out, then everything else starts to make sense. Everything else starts to fall into place. So everything that you need to get started and to get on track is here with you. You can start right now with a breath. Let's take a breath. And feed yourself with the breath. Feed yourself with your presence, with your senses. Feed yourself with the moment, because you are here. And you can start to believe and start to connect with this energy, and it's instantly accessible. You might forget this from time to time. It's really easy to forget that what we need is inside of ourselves. But the good news is that it's always ready for us to rediscover it. We can forget and we can remember, and we can forget and we can remember, and it never goes away. You know, the ability for us to connect with ourselves, and the ability for us to connect with the moment, and for us to connect with our true force and our true power is always with us. So you will always have a reservoir of limitless energy available to you. Now that's a pretty amazing thought, isn't it? Isn't that a good thing to start to consider and start to feel into? And it's true, because it's just waiting for us. And once we start to tap into the force, once we start to tap into the moment, to relax and to take care of ourselves from this inside out, to believe in ourselves and to start to see the real secret of our own mastery is inside of ourselves, we can begin to shape it. And this is where you really start to learn the tricks and the mindsets and the techniques, because that's where you start to grow. You start to be able to shape things with your focus, with your internal representations, with the way that you talk to yourself, with your action plans, with all those other things. But it has to come from this truth of yourself first. Now, some people might call this belief in yourself, believing in your heart, or it might be about, finding your spirit, or it could be about finding your muse or working with your inner life force. These are all great explanations. They're all metaphors. They're all models. They're all ideas. Whatever model, whatever template, whatever idea that you use, as long as it helps you to claim it, that's what's most important. As long as it helps you to believe in yourself, then that's fantastic. But always remember, a model is a model. A metaphor is a metaphor. The menu is not the meal. The map is not the territory. These are just ways to point us towards what's important. Now, some people get lost in the templates. They get lost in the metaphors, and it's very easy to do that because we're addicted to our mind. We're addicted to the mind that pulls things apart, that contrasts it, puts things together, that maps things all the time. It's the power of the mind. It's a beautiful mind, but we've got to remember that there is something larger than that. Our emergent being, our nature of our actual reality, our presence is one of the most important and powerful things that we can learn to work with. It exists within you right now, even now, right now. It's here with you, and you can connect with it, and it's available to you at all times. And you can just start to sense it with your senses. You can start to believe in it. You can start to feel it. And even when you're tired, even when you're lost, even when the world feels like it's falling apart and it makes no sense, you can come back to this place of now. You can come back to presence. You can come back to belief in yourself. And this will build momentum. It will build success. It will build strength. It will build faith. And it's always here, ready to work with you. It's always ready and willing to help you in some ways, because it is you. It is us. It's all of us. And when you believe in that force of you and how you can really grow and you can really trust yourself, then it's like you start tapping into a dynamic, creative intelligence. It wants to help you. It wants to help you overcome your challenges. It wants to support you to be able to face the adversities of life. If you just believe in it, if you just let it in, Now, in some traditions and ideas, you would do that through believing in a god or a guru or a symbol, and that's fine, that's good. If that helps you, fantastic, do that. If you need to work with prayers or you like to work with some kind of symbols, recognize that that's a way of using the projections and the powers of the mind to be able to grow strong and to believe in yourself. And if you believe in this part of yourself, if you believe in your inner power, then you can start to align to it, and it starts to grow belief inside you. You believe that you're strong, you believe that you're capable, you start to see a positive future, and you start to feel that there's some awesomeness that's hidden inside of the world around you and inside of you. And this awesomeness is with you no matter what. Even when you have negative thoughts, when you have negative attitudes about yourself and others, you can start to come back to yourself and reorient yourself back to this good force, this good way of being, this trusting nature inside you, and it will transform you. It will begin to transform fears. It will help you to start to unravel indecision. It will start to help you to take action and to be able to turn weakness into strengths. It will help you to be able to actualize your potential. It will help you realize your goals. It will help you awaken and start to live your dreams. And all you have to do is to learn to tap into it, to recognize it, to believe in it, and to start to work with it. And the most amazing thing is you don't even have to do anything special to be able to get access to this force. This energy is within you, it's developing in you, and it wants to work with you if you just tap into it, by feeding into it, by allowing yourself to be there. Now, this is probably the one thing that if you do this, everything else will start to come into alignment. So just get back into alignment with your own way. Stop believing in things outside yourself that hold you back. Stop dissipating your energy in multiple directions and trying to find answers, because ultimately this leads to unwise use of your potential. So stop and think about why you're doing that. Why are you getting caught up in that? And I'll tell you why. It's because it's a habit. It's a habit of mind. It's a habit of the subconscious. It's a habit of the conditioning of the world around you. And this is a big step in the right direction, is learning to unravel and to, let's say, disempower the conditioned mind that keeps pulling you in the wrong directions. And why are so many people lost in this? Well, honestly, it's because we don't know how to believe in ourselves. We haven't been taught to believe in ourselves. We haven't been given the permission to believe in ourselves. So people go looking for that permission. They go looking for that power in all kinds of other places, in money, in sex, in influence, in being popular, in being famous. And this basically it's something that our society has raised us up to look for, to look outside of ourselves, to seek authority. And it's dangerous. We can see this in the world too, where people are giving all their power away to all kinds of authorities that they do not understand, and they're looking for everything to be okay. But at the same time, they don't want to be responsible for themselves because they have never learned how to do that. So when people hear things like it's up to you, or you have to be responsible for yourself to accomplish your own goals, then they start to feel uncomfortable. They start to look for someone to blame or someone to shame or something to run towards so that they can feel better about themselves without facing this uncomfortable feeling that they just really don't know what to do because they're dealing with the unknown. Now, we're all dealing with the unknown. It's part of the human condition. And unfortunately, there is no big daddy or big mummy. There is nobody out there. There is no great big guru, great teacher, great anybody that can solve all of that problem for us. We need to walk the path. We need to be here with ourselves. Now, there are teachers and there are supports and there are things that you can do to help yourself. But instead of looking outside yourself to constantly do that, you have to start to train yourself to find your own inner being and start to basically grow your own inner sense of accomplishment and your own inner sense of power, your own inner sense of belief in your own awesomeness. Now, that might mean that you need to say no to some things. You might need to turn off some of the things that you've been distracted by. You might need to start to have clear boundaries and realize that it's unhealthy to be giving your energy away to some of these images and ideas that you've been selling yourself into. And that includes things like looking to celebrities or looking to influencers and looking for people to tell you how to be successful. Now, by all means, take useful things from these people, take inspiration, take ideas, but remember, this is all about you and your purpose. And it's a fallacy to believe otherwise. Now, every individual has a different set of circumstances. This is also why it's really important that you learn to walk your own path and trust your own path, because you have different structures. You have different things going on inside your life that makes it pointless for you to try to copycat somebody else. Even if you find somebody that you really like and you want to be like them, you will never be just like them because they have a different life. They have a different everything. They have a different mind, they have a different circumstances, they have a different everything. So basically, you want to be able to set things up in a way where you can work with your own constructs, where you can work with your own circumstances, where you can work with your own structures. So you can really understand, I hope here, that the problem with following other people's paths is you end up spending a lot of time doing things that are irrelevant to you, doing things that are not useful for you. And that's often why people feel uncomfortable trying to follow somebody else's example, because you just end up doing things that are basically unhelpful for yourself. Now, another common reason that people copy other people and they want to follow other people is because they want to get it right. They want to be perfect. They want to be accepted. Now, I know this one myself. It's very hard to try to be successful in the world when you're surrounded by people that you're comparing yourself to. So it's important to try to be aware that, once again, that it's not about being perfect. It's not about getting it right or about getting it wrong. You've got to start to believe in yourself first, and then you can start to get your own feedback. You can start to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You can learn to start to believe in yourself and start to take courage to make it work, to once again, to trust in the process. And it's okay, you will probably not be perfect all the time. You will have to improve, you will have to change, you will have to adapt, you will have to modify. But that's the beauty of your own character development. That's the beauty of your own path, your own way. And you will end up with something that you can truly say is yours. It's you, it's your life, it's your beautiful reality. So your success resides within you. Even if you learn from others to find your own way at times, and I'm not saying don't learn from others. I'm not saying don't look for inspiration and mindsets and techniques. I'm not saying don't seek for wisdom and things that can help you to find betterment inside your life. But I am saying don't fall into the trap of chasing secrets outside of yourself. Don't fall into the trap of trying to find the solution outside yourself as if you're alone and you don't have anything. Because the truth is that you are the biggest secret in your own individual life. Your heart and your soul is something that is beyond comprehension. And that's the whole point. It's beyond the mind. It's beyond these images. It's beyond these things that are trying to tell you to go this direction or that direction. So, stop trying to expect external forces or some ideology or some method to come and save you. And instead, start to believe in the nature of your own being. Start to become your own critical human being, thinking for yourself, feeling for yourself, trusting yourself. This is also why the basis of the inner game technology that I work with, when people come and work with me and they do coaching, I always look at it in terms of what is this individual's needs and how can I help this individual to find their own way. And in many ways, the basis of inner game in the way that I teach it is no way as way. So we use multiple different ways. We use many different techniques, many different strategies, and they're all about finding a way that is your way to fill your life with your content, with your trust, to become a sense maker inside of your own reality. Now, this is something that Bruce Lee talked about. Forget the traditional mess, find what's effective, use what works, abandon the things that don't necessarily work, abandon the dogma, let go of these false secrets because they're not helping you. They're not helping the world. They're not helping each other. And instead, start to believe in what really works. So break free from the things that truly do not matter. Start to let that stuff go. Become somebody that's focused on what the essentials are inside of your life and make things that really work. Because the happiness and the meaning that you seek is really the core of what makes your own relationship to yourself more important than anything else. So start to find meaning in experience. Start to find meaning in the moment. Start to relax and trust in the body. Start to relax in the knowing of what's going on. Now, Joseph Campbell, who's a really beautiful man, he's an anthropologist. He did a lot of work on mythology and helped to really popularize the ideas of things like the hero's journey into mainstream. He said that you are the mystery that you are seeking to know. So that's a big secret right there. You are the mystery that you are seeking to know. So ask yourself then, where are you looking for power? Are you looking for power in the truth of yourself? Are you looking for power in your experience, in your life? Are you allowing at least some of your life to be your experience and your experience alone without being influenced by other things and other people all the time? And start to ask yourself, are you chasing phantoms? Are you seeking for greatness by trying to copycat others? And if you are, then try to work out how can you make it more your own? How do you make it your style, your vibe, your thing? So it starts to have your spirit, your heart, your truth within that. And then your greatness and your power will start to come through. You'll start to feel good about yourself. You'll start to trust yourself. Now, this goes for doing things like approaching girls as well. If you want to get good at approaching, if you want to feel good about talking to people, if you want to have influence, then stop trying to copycat other people and stop trying to do something that somebody else is telling you to do. And instead start to trust yourself more and more. And that's going to start to really give you feedback of where you're really at. And then you can start to adjust and modify and adapt. And then you can start to really find your own direction of what you need to do and where you really actually are on the path. So you have the power. You have the power within you to follow and realize your own dreams. So have faith in your own power, have faith in your own greatness, and remember that the key is you, because you really are the greatest secret. Now I'm going to leave you with 3 really powerful things to do. Number 1, put your self-exploration and your self-mastery as the biggest priority, as the most important thing of all. And what that also means is let everything that happens inside your experience feed this number 1 goal. And that's going to start to give you a higher sense of purpose and a higher sense of meaning. If you can believe in yourself first, if you can believe in your heart, your path, your way first, everything else is going to start to complement you. It's going to start to strengthen you. It's going to start to teach you how you are yourself and how you can believe in yourself. Number 2 is stop looking for things outside yourself to give you the fulfillment that you're looking for. Stop looking for external satisfaction. Stop looking for attention from others. Stop trying to satisfy your senses of restlessness and dissatisfaction by jumping from this thing to that thing to this thing to that thing and forgetting that you are the center in all of this. And number 3, begin to call upon and learn and start to exercise your own inner will and energy. Start to learn to tap into and channel your own power day by day, hour by hour, little by little, minute by minute. If you have to, start to use choice points, start to use the power of your ability to come back into focus. Take a breath, remind yourself, here you are, here I am, this is what's going on. Feed your experiences, start to feed your senses with beautiful things, start to extend your mind into the things that are important to you, start to focus on yourself and stretch yourself little bit by little bit. Doesn't always have to be hard, but give yourself little positive challenges that you can reward yourself for doing. Start to see yourself growing and learning. Start to do things like working out and seeing that those workouts are helping you. Start to expand your horizons in ways that can push you in new ways, so you're learning things that are exciting for you, that are helping you. And also aim towards the things that are going to make you truly happy. Now, I know that's a hard thing, because what's going to make you truly happy? Well, the only way you're going to find that out is by starting to tap into your own inner knowing and starting to trust that inner knowing and realize that once again, you are the secret and you are the one that you really truly need to believe in all of this process. So that's all I've got to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you share if you can. Get the word out there. The Inner Game Shaman is in the house. And hope this video inspired you with one of the most biggest secrets out there. And leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Leave me some questions if you want me to make a video on something, and I'll get around to making it eventually. Much love to you guys. May all your dreams come true. This is the Inner Game Shaman saying peace and blessings to you.